Hello, hello. I didn't even prepare my little video here. But here we go. Thank you. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm about to type this and this be true. It's my 57th consecutive day of live streaming for at least 30 minutes. And granted, 30 minutes it's not really long enough, I don't think. It's not, but my goal was to just reignite my YouTube muscle, get started again after having left this channel dormant for, it wasn't completely dormant. It was like spurts and starts. But well, you don't know. That's why we're talking about it. I'm trying to get consistent. That's the goal. Not even try. There is no try, only do. I'm getting consistent by doing this challenge. And it's at least, shifted some of my behaviors, how I prioritize some things. But I'm not quite there yet as far as what I want the end vision to look like. And one of the things I want is to have a set time, because in my head, ow, I feel like one of my braids is too tight or something. It's like something's pulling on me here. Okay. But in my head, a YouTuber who streams has a set time. Like, you know what? And so comparison being the thief of joy. Hey, Marley. I can compare myself to other YouTubers who figured it out as far as when their streams are going to be, etc. I'm not there yet. I'm just not there. But one of the reasons why I am now on at 8 something, which is definitely not as, is later than I wanted to be, is because I had a workshop that I had to attend that an organization I'm in was hosting on imposter syndrome. And so to be effective, because I want to say lazy, but effective, I decided, all right, I'll just make that my topic. And then as soon as I get off the workshop, I'll go ahead and go live. And then I can maybe talk about, what maybe I learned or gleaned from the workshop. And I didn't necessarily, that's not true. It's not that I didn't learn anything. But it's not a topic that was unfamiliar to me. It's not a topic that I haven't spent a lot of time in. And so since I wasn't leading the workshop, I basically kind of, wanted to leave space for those who were attending to interact with the workshop in the way that the presenter intended for her audience to interact with the workshop. So I did not share what were some of my own tips on how I felt like I overcame. Well, it's not, once I realized that there was a point that I was really, really struggling with this imposter syndrome, it was just incredibly stressful. Incredibly stressful. And I can laugh about it now because I'm not living it anymore. But oh my God, it was a horrible, hard time in life. And I decided then that, like, all right, I don't want to try to overcome this, right? I don't want to try to combat it. How do I embrace it? How do I leverage this shit then? If this is how I'm going to feel about this, how can I, embrace it? And so I think the first thing that helped was like shifting my mindset about the idea that, like, I'm the only person that feels this way, right? And I ultimately, like, through my research and through interacting with humans, learned that everyone feels like an imposter in something. it may not be the thing that you feel like an imposter in, but something, and so like you might be really good at accounting, um and feel like an imposter as it relates to your parenting, right? Like you're killing it on the job, but in this part, like I don't feel like I'm killing it. I always feel like I'm failing. Um, so in realizing that, one, everybody feels like an imposter in something, and two, most people don't know as much as you think they know, and you actually know more than you think you do. Yeah, that that also helped. And then, hi, Coach Sherry. And then the last thought, the belief that really helped was really firmly, well, I'll say there's four, firmly solidifying that like other people's opinions of me are really none of my business. And that I want to be as equally unaffected by positive praise as I am by constructive criticism, whether there's value or let's just say criticism, period. Because some criticism is constructive and there's value in it, and some criticism is less about you and it's more about the other person. Um, so, like, those things help. And so then once I decided, all right, I'm not only am I shifting these beliefs around this, me feeling like an imposter, I'm going to just fully embrace this. And if I feel like an imposter, right? If I feel like I'm not the thing, I'm not the person that should have this thing, I'm not the person that should do this thing. Well, what does that person look like? Like, and I literally took a template from I went and found an actor's template for how they build a character. And I used that template to define my person and said to myself, well, if this is who I think is the person that does deserve this, right? That is ready for it. I'm going to one, define what that person is, and I'll pretend to be it until I'm there. Like I will play the role. I will adopt this altar and play the role until it feels real. And then yeah, I will, if there are things on there that I can't actually state as fact right now, I will check them off until I can state them as fact. um and so I'm a firm believer of, all right, if you feel like you're an imposter, go ahead, then act, literally act, play the role then. And so thinking about all these things even during the workshop really gave me the aha that, like, all right, a lot of the things that I had envisioned for myself, I've become the things I wanted to do. And that next thing is scarier. And they have this saying in AA that is both like, it can be used positively, it's like your, or negatively, but your best thinking got you here. And so even if your best thinking got you to, let's say, an Emmy, but you aspire to have an EGOT, you want that Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, your best thinking only got you an Emmy. You're going to have to do something different to go get that Grammy, Oscar, Tony. And that's okay. It's okay to have an Emmy and want the God. And so, yeah, this has been a kind of day. that's that's what's been on my mind today. And I said, well, you know what? It's my live stream. That's what I'm going to show up and talk about. And even if I'm only talking to right now myself, and luckily I'm not. So thank you. Shout out to Coach Sherry and Marlene Motivates who are here in the chat tonight. But yeah, even if that happens to be the case, it feels like the right thing. And I want to get to a place where I can plan it. But Marlene, you had made that comment the other day in one of your streams where you were saying that right now you don't necessarily plan out the things that you want to talk about. You also go with what you feel called to discuss, right? Like what you feel maybe someone needs to hear. And honestly, today, for me, it wasn't even about what somebody else needed to hear. It was about what I needed to hear and what I needed to hear from me, to be quite honest. But yeah, exactly. And it's my live stream and I can say what I want. So thank you for that reinforcement, even though it doesn't matter, but I still appreciate it. I know you know exactly what I'm trying to say here. And so, yeah, that was my set of ahas here. And then I guess the next step was so I keep getting recommended these YouTube videos about the fear of being seen ones. And I think back to our conversation the other day about things one could do to promote your channel further than maybe what you do now. And I'm like, what's that about? Is that about a fear of being seen? Right? Because it's not about a lack of knowledge. But I haven't taken the action. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep asking myself that on what's that about. And then I'm pretty sure I've also, well, no, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure I've had this aha before of like, oh, you really kind of got to where you were trying to get to. I did kind of once. It was only in like one aspect, and it was just a few weeks ago. This is this is a new awareness for me. So I don't know exactly what then that looks like in execution, except for showing up for myself for my 90 consecutive days of live streaming right now. And being comfortable and willing to do it messy, and also accepting that just my unique experience is all that I have to bring. I don't have to niche into some very, very specific thing. I can just be. Hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have to niche into one very specific thing, but I also have a vision that will require me to focus. But right now, I can still just learn and grow and continue to have fun and think about how I can make this fun and continue to do it. Because I really, really did miss having the YouTubes in my life. Like, I haven't talked about this as much in the stream, and maybe I should. Maybe that's the thing I should be talking about, because I love YouTube. Like, I am obsessed with YouTube for so many reasons. I'm obsessed with YouTube about because of the business of YouTube, and like the fact that this can be used literally as a wealth generator for people to just talk to themselves. Like, what? That is mind blowing. Okay. That's number one. Number two, the level of creativity of some of these people on this platform that people do with like low budgets. And it's just like when I see a good edit, I tear up. I can't, I'm like, one, because I know what it takes behind that. Okay. Editing, I think, is one of the most painful things. So when I also see someone who has figured out a great concept that allows them to avoid the things that I find painful, I'm also incredibly impressed, and I want to know more about their business, about their model, like how are they doing it? And that's what made me think of that Myron Golden is one of those people, Coach Cherry, that like I am incredibly impressed at his ability to make his content so simple yet effective. And I'm also really, really impressed by people that like Myron, that are able to weave in their faith into their content in a way that is not um like what's it like it very much seems like it is just a part of who he is. So I'm just giving you all of the brand here, and providing this content in the simplest way. I You'll see, I just get so excited about all the things about YouTube. I'm intrigued about YouTube and its own failures and its own operations, about how like people are literally able to take advantage of the copyright strike system to take away people's livelihoods just because they don't like things they say. That's wild to me that as a business, it's almost 20 years old and y'all haven't figured out how to not allow that. Actually, they probably haven't figured out how to not allow it because it doesn't serve them to. There's obviously not any money in doing it. So yeah. Wait, what did Coach Jerry say? When I finished my live, his video was the first on my page as a recommendation. The algorithms or something. Yes, they really are. I was so mad at the algorithm the other day though, because I was thinking about talking about this in the live stream. So I don't know if y'all are familiar with the actor Terrence Howard and his tour, I will call it, that he's gone on, where he talks about the different things that he likes to talk about a child, you name it. Okay, Terrence Howard want to talk about it, and he speaks about it with authority, whether he right, wrong, or indifferent. And I went to go find one Terrence Howard video, okay, and the algorithm thought all I wanted to do was go down Terrence Howard's conspiracy theories, and I was so irritated. And I was like, you know what? But that can also work in my favor. Let me just go watch one other video in the other end and let it retrain my algorithm real quick. But that's also how I feel like I've noticed that the YouTube algorithm definitely has changed. It did not used to like serve me up so much of the same content so instantly. And I think that's probably a result of the what TikTok has done to our attention span. So, and exactly, see, and as we say, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So that's not only did recommend him because I thought it was something like, oh, I could see your channel definitely being like this, but I could also see that being a creator that you would like, because you talk about so many similar things about entrepreneurship and not only development of the business, but development of the individual in order to lead the business best that they can. Oh, snap. Hold on. This is my mom. Hold on. Mama, I'm on live and you on speaker.
Hey.
My mom said, hey, y'all.
Okay. Well, I didn't want anything. I just wanted to see if you went down a rabbit hole tonight on this 34 counts of guilty and what's next. So we can talk about it later.
Okay. We can talk about that later. All right. Love you.
All right. Love you too. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Thank y'all. So that, yeah, YouTube fascinates me. It fascinates me as a business. It fascinates me in terms of the creators. I will definitely tell her you said hi, Marlene. And it fascinates me in terms of the community. And so that's one thing that, yeah, is an aspect that I would definitely say that I missed. And I think I have legitimately been making friends on the internet since before it was safe. Seriously. And I've had, friends that were literally strangers when we met on the internet, but became accountability partners. And we achieved like major life goals together by just supporting one another. So it's also not lost on me that you can build community and sisterhood with people that you never physically see. And so that's another thing that I really love about YouTube, the community aspect, and the number of times that YouTube has helped me solve a problem. Like now, so the other day I was like super proud of myself because I successfully descaled my Keurig, and then the thing died like two uses after I descaled it. And I think I'm gonna have to finally just quit Keurig because this is the second Keurig I bought, and they both have died within a year. And at this point, I don't think it's me. I don't think it's the user. I think it's the brand. I'm just going to have to accept that my best thinking got me here and it had me buying Keurig, and I need to get a better coffee maker because Keurig is just planning on me having to buy a new one every year. I think they plan obsolescence too, just like iPhone, because they got a new one coming out or something. I don't know how I got onto that. Oh, but what helped me figure out how to try to reset it was YouTube. Now I got it working, but again, only for like a few more uses. Uh, but I have watched that's what I think. I know that's what I have to do, Marlene, is to come on over to the Nespresso. And I just got introduced to the milk frother, and I don't drink milk in my coffee. I like those flavored creams. I use those instead of any sugar because if you get the right one from International Delights, you don't need any sugar. But I finally tried one of those with the milk frother, and oh my God, my life was changed. But I really shouldn't be using either because my favorite is ooh, I see I tried the oat milk and it still tasted a little oaty for me. I do like almond milk though as a alternative. Um but yeah, so Coach Sherry, all the useful info that you could find on YouTube on how to do things. Um I would I Marlene and I have talked about this before. I think so, but I love Murder and Mayhem. Okay, that sounds weird to say, but I consume true crime. I've always liked true crime. I like fictional crime. I like Law and Order. So I definitely am interested in true crime and trying to figure out who did what and who done it. If it weren't for the internet and things like YouTube, where would I get stories like that? Oh, I had to quit identity discovery. But my point is still that there's something for everyone. You can find the things that you're interested in, and you can find things that maybe you're not interested in, but just curious about and want to know if you're interested in it. I've also appreciated YouTube for um, news, and news specifically from the people that are being impacted by the thing that's happening, because like the news that I'm going to watch on actual television is well, for lack of a better phrase, like sanitized to be commercialized, right? But somebody who's literally living in the place where this thing is happening and just whips out their phone, I'm going to get a way different point of view. Not to say that I'm not going to still consume the other one, but at least I can get other perspectives of the story to create than my own opinion. My nose itching during these live streams is like, if this is supposed to mean that somebody's coming, I'm claiming that it means like all my new subscribers. That's who's coming. Okay, yeah. So Coach Sherry says, I can't, you know what? I don't know that either. But you know where I know where you can find out, Coach Sherry? I bet you can find out on YouTube how they make almond milk. That's a good question. Um, oh my God, the new math. I remember when that came out. I was like, oh, thank God, I'm not in school right now and I don't have school age children. Because what is this? And it's literally new math. Okay. And from what I could see, the math was not mathing. Oh, that stinks. But I'm glad that you found some alternatives that both you find delicious and nutritious. Um, I don't know what it is, Marlene, but you know what? It's going to have whatever meaning we decide to assign to it. So that's what it means. It means all these new subscribers are going to come visit us. And that's why our nose itches when we're on live. Okay, Marlene used to make almond milk, so she apparently knows how to do it. And maybe she might pop up with a video that explains it. I would be very interested to see if you did a how to make almond milk video, like what kind of numbers would that do? Because as you can tell, I'm obsessed with the YouTube. I just like I said, Coach Sherry, I was just like, woo, child. I know one of my friend's sons that as auntie, I was like, oh, I can't help you with every other subject, but that, nope, I will not be the one. Okay, this I can't wait to see though, because I am like, it doesn't seem like it would be easy, but uh, we're gonna find out when Marlene makes some almond milk. And and the other reason I'll say for YouTube is it also allows me to go look for perspectives other than my own. That because of even what we talked about with the algorithm, right? The algorithm's going to serve you more of what it already knows you like. But if I want to try to find, if I'm doing research, I'm looking at the opposition as well. You know what I mean? Because I just don't know how you get a full view without looking at the opposite side of what perhaps you might think or feel about something. So, okay, yes, Marlene, please do when you make this almond milk video. Um, but the good thing, well, not but, and the good thing about these ahas today is just I did, I ultimately did and do feel energized. I feel excited about getting on the next third leg of this journey because day 57 is way closer to 60 than I realized. And I'm like, oh, snap. What does the last 30 days of this challenge look like in a way to make it effective for me? But I could definitely say some of the things that I had hoped to achieve have been effective. And that it just, if nothing else, has reduced the amount of maybe overthinking I would do about just turning the camera on. And I've met new creators and just new people that I wouldn't have met. And I figured out why my nose itches when I'm going live, So there's that. And yes, Coach Sherry, you are, I can say, also crushing it because I could say also. But like Coach Sherry would say, besides my mama that call here, yeah, I don't know anybody else that I talk to daily. So yes, it has been a great blessing to have an accountability partner in this and know that we are almost there on the other side and have been achieving some milestones on the way there as far as clarity, consistency, and confidence. We'll say that, and also increased confidence in what we hope to do here. So I'm definitely happy for that. Now, if I need to make sure to make Coach Sherry a mod, but I got to do that for my other thing. Now, so one thing I'm definitely going to do, and this is, since we're talking about accountability partners, I'm saying this aloud to y'all so y'all can keep me honest, is that I'd taken a couple of days off around Juneteenth. One, because I decided last year, like, I might have started doing this the year before, but that I'm not working on the Fridays of the week that Juneteenth is. I'm calling it Black Friday, and I'm taking that day off every year. So, yeah, since Juneteenth's on a Wednesday. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. It was the year that Juneteenth was a Friday. Since Juneteenth's on a Wednesday this year, I took off the Thursday, Friday. So, in those days, I am going to batch some content so that I have some things prepped for the end of this challenge because as Coach Sherry said, it ain't been no crystal stair. And I gotta continue to figure some things out. Because woo child. But we made it. I'm literally looking at this timer here, like, ooh, I got 18 seconds till I made it a whole 30 minutes, and I could say done for today. But okay, But ooh, that's a good one. First day of the summer. Oh, I like that. As a self-care ritual. Now, the other one I started doing too is that last week of the year. I don't work after no, well, after the 23rd, really. Um because I always take off Christmas Eve. So, and depending on what day of the week the 23rd is, like if the 23rd is a Monday, I'm just going to take off those whole last 2 weeks. Um but I definitely like that last year. But honestly, my company's actually been doing that for the last couple of years. So what's so funny is like every year I've scheduled it as a time off, and then my company's decided to do a wellness shutdown for the last week of the year. So I've never had to use it as my time off. But we have unlimited PTO, and so it doesn't. It's not like it's just like, oh, use it or lose it. So yeah, I think that is like the best for a reset time, and just to like check in with yourself before you go into the new year. And now that I started doing that 300 list, that's going to be my last week of the year ritual for sure. But thank you, ladies, so much for joining me this evening on my day 57 of 90 consecutive days of live streaming, and allowing me to chat about some imposter syndrome thoughts, as well as my love for the YouTubes. I hope to see you tomorrow on day 58. And what is tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow's Freedom Friday. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but apparently it's my stream and I can talk about whatever I want. So I will see you. Thank you and have a good night.